What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast 412, Fight for Purity. A bold way of looking at challenges that young people are facing. We'll talk about the naked truth of life and how to handle the problems you're thinking but not talking about. So strap in, get ready for another great podcast.
So coming back on the idea of what makes a good woman and about what kind of guy, that that guys are looking for. They're not looking for the buff people, like you said, the people who can bench them. Yeah.
Well, I think pretty confident that we know what it looks like to not be that. Yeah. In our society. And sadly, I used to tell this to my girls all the time. A guy knows whether you have confidence or not. He can tell. He can tell by the way you carry yourself, by the way you walk. He can tell whether you're confident or not, by the way you dress. And I'm sure you guys can verify that with your own relationships, that a guy knows. You might not think he does, but a guy knows how to scan the room. Okay, there's
That logic.
That makes sense now.
There's that logic brain.
Yeah, because he knows. And he's going to look at... he doesn't know you. He doesn't know who you are, but he can tell by the way you look, by the way you carry yourself, by the way you talk, by the way that you're dressed, whether you're going to be,
long term.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, so they may be,
a one night.
they may look like they're empty-minded, but their wheels are spinning.
Oh, yeah.
And those gears are going.
Even where they find you, I guess.
Yeah.
The man in his logic brain. I'm sure, I don't know, I can't speak for every man, I'm not a man. But like for me, in my logic brain, I'm thinking if a man's walking to a club and he's scanning the room, he's not looking for long term.
Yeah.
He's not looking for a wife.
I want to say no. Maybe some guys do.
The
I don't know.
Of his children.
Exactly. I can't speak for him, So like, and then on the other side, as a woman, if I'm in the club, I shouldn't be expecting to find me a long-term man there. Because if he's scanning the room with logic,
Yeah.
and just like, if he picks me out amongst all these other women, then there's something either really saying something about me, about what kind of woman I am. If in that scenario he's choosing me over others,
And I think even our conduct anywhere that we're at, even if it's not a club, if like you're a woman and you're like going around with all the guys, being all flirtatious with all the guys, even even in a setting where it's not like club, they're still gonna know based on your conduct of, like, or if you're out with friends just at a house or whatever, and you're flirting with everybody, or, they know.
Yeah.
So our conduct and how we speak with others, how we dress, everything, it all. We're like a book. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And we put so much effort into how we dress. And if you're not a confident person, then that's what you're going to focus on, because you don't look at what's inside of you, or you don't see what's inside of you. All you see is the outward. I got to accentuate this or this on my physical body, because that's what's going to get the attention. Not the right attention. That I don't think that's the attention you want. I don't think. Maybe you do. You want attention, but I don't think.
They feel wanted, but they don't realize that it's not
It's
kind of
the
want
kind,
that
that they want.
they actually want. That they want. It's not the one you want.
I knew what you meant. It's just that idea, every woman wants to know that she's attractive to somebody, especially like when you're a teenager. That's like such a struggle. Is being attractive, is knowing that somebody finds you some kind of attractive. And because, like we said, guys are very logic based, they're very facial and physical, like, based, I guess, and visual. There we go. Yeah. Like, they're very visual as teenagers, so don't worry if you're a teenager, and it's okay, they'll grow up and they'll get smarter. They'll look at other things. But like as a teenager, like it's such a sad, it feels sad when that nobody's looking at you like that. But then you have to think as a woman and as a girl, like, do I want everybody looking at me just for that? because you know, as a woman, we shouldn't just be what we look like. You know, that should not be our list of what makes a good lady. You know, it shouldn't be. That's it. You know, as long as you look good,
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters.
Well, like I think like even from my own experience, like from like 6th to 7th, you know, in like those areas where, you know, puberty is starting. So like before, like I didn't care. I was like mostly into school and all that. And then like once I became noticeable to guys, I think that's when I went from like 0 to 100 in regards to that, because it's like, well, I'm getting this attention that I've been craving because the father was out of the picture.
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting that. So once I was able to get that from not getting it, it just spiraled out of control. And then like when I got older, that just became basically what I could offer to people. Because
Because you don't think there's anything inside
Yeah.
of-
In you,
in
yeah.
you as a person to offer.
like even like just dumbing myself down sometimes. But I'm just like, oh wait, no, there's
Yeah. Well, it's like even when
There's
you're in
more than
class and
that.
you like the kids that like fail themselves because everyone like the cool kids are not doing their work, you know, and you like take away the things that are in you that are worth something, you know, not that looks aren't, but like what's in you, you know, you kind of I know for me when I got into a relationship when I was in middle school, I like lost myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like you kind of lose who you are.
Yeah.
You know, in the looks, in the trends, in what social media says, and all this stuff, and you're not really who. I mean, you just lose yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because I think even like when we always say social media, I know you guys probably get tired of hearing about, but but you're making something that's not really who you are, you know, because you only post the best stuff, you know, the best pictures, the best whatever.
Not really gonna post that just got up look. You know?
Yeah. Or even just like where you're really at, you know, like if you're, you know, throwing up over a toilet, you know, you're probably not gonna, I mean, I don't know, maybe you are, but you're just not going to, because you want your best, you know, your best self out there, and you want people to think that you're living this, you know, great life, and but it's not even you, it's not even really who you are. And I think you do that, you do that you do that even out though in the world, like, well, in society you do that, you do the
Yes.
same thing.
So even if you did conduct yourself a certain way, you lose that along the way.
Yeah, because because like you said, like your conduct is all about how you look. It's not about who you are. You know, it's like we said with the gentleman's list. You know, my list was all the outward stuff. You know, versus I'd rather have a guy who has her list. You know, who is kind. You know, I'd rather he forget to open my door, but he's kind and he's and he's thinking about passing things on. He's being a father figure. You know, that's more important to me. You know, as a woman, that's the kind of man I would want. And then so that means that, but there's like the opposite side. If you want a man like that, there's certain standards for us as a woman that we're gonna have to meet, so that way we can get a man like that, or that somebody like that notices us. You know, because I would say a man like that who's thinking about being kind and passing things on and being a father figure, he's not going to be at the club, like I said. You know, he's not just going to be looking at women with just his eyes. Yeah. You know, and so I guess, didn't you have a list for what makes a good woman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's easy to look at a list, but it's like I said, that list comes with a lot of work. It's not just there, you know, it's like, you know, and you got to know somebody to know if they got those characteristics in their lives. So, yeah, we're going to look at a woman for a little bit
Okay.
and see what list she came up with.
Okay.
Not that she came up with, but that she
Yes,
found.
I came up with it. So, a good woman extends kindness to all, maintains patience even in the midst of adversity, conducts herself with humility and integrity. She has perseverance. She persists through obstacles and challenges. A good woman has self-determined values, has a high self-worth, yet is down to earth, shows strength, courage, and compassion, can be a leader and is able to trust, sets clear goals, and allows exchange of thoughts and ideas fairly, and is helpful and believes in equality. So she's So, like I said, it's all inward stuff, just like the man.
Yeah.
So, like how she was saying, if you want a good man, you need to be a good woman yourself.
Yeah.
So,
And those things are hard.
yeah, they all
I think
are.
some of them are hard because it talks about like having patience or hearing, but women today are so loud. You know, they're so loud. I mean, that's the thing now, is to be loud and to be, you know, obnoxious and to say that you're whatever. It's just, that's the thing. It's like it's to be toxic. It's like this great thing to be toxic.
It's not.
Yeah. But that's what is promoted is you know, be this ugly person, and you know, and I guess all under the idea that, you know, you're just being who you are, but it's
all under the guise of women empowerment. But when you really look at it, it's like, what's empowering about it?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
how?
Not even that, but like, what are you empowering?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, where's this going?
You know, like I get, you know, equality. You know, I get it. You know, wanting to be treated fairly, like that's totally fine. But that doesn't mean, you know, that somehow you like steamroll everybody else.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, and like all those things like you listed, there's like this idea that to be this kind of woman who's like who has equality and who's strong and who's like persevering means that you have to like have a job and you have to be like out there and you have to be like the boss, you know, because like especially like in this like culture nowadays, like mothers like are looked down on because we're not out there working, you know, all the time. But I'm like, well, I'm working, you know, you know. I'm like, I don't like, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, you know, but you know,
raising the next generation.
yeah,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, like raising the next generation that needs patience, you know. But like, it's not even like there's like this idea that somehow being a mother is weaker than being a boss lady.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's valuable
It is
because you are more than just like, you're shaping the future. Just like somebody shaped, you know, some of these other girls that are out.
someone shaped you. You know?
Yeah. So,
and like, it's like, if it's not the mom or if it's not the parents, like, then who is molding your kids?
yeah.
You know?
And not even like that's not like to bash like women who are
Yeah.
who aren't mothers and who are absolutely out there making money. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are different ways to be a good woman and like a good strong woman.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that because your way isn't the same way of other people that somehow it's not the same. You know, I don't know. Like, I wanted to throw that out there just because we were talking about like equality in women, and you know, like there's different kinds of women, and like we were talking about how if you want that good man, depending on the man you want, if you want a father like man, that means you're gonna have to be a mother too. You know, you're gonna have to have some other qualities. You know, fathers, mothers, that kind of go hand in hand.
Well, and someone that would look at you and think like, I want to be like that. You know, I don't look at these girls that are loud or these women that are, you know, in their late 40s or at least 50s going out to the bar and stuff and say, oh, I want that kind of life. I want to go out there and be dancing when I'm 60 years old, looking for, you know, a man or looking for happiness out there. Like, I don't look at that, you know, and think like that's the kind of life I want, you know, to be drinking and, you know, or, you know, doing whatever just to find happiness at those ages. And when you live in a life and you have a conduct which is classy and stuff, and you surround yourself with people that are also like that, like, I think you kind of elevate each other, you know, instead of bringing each other down. I feel like when I was out partying and stuff, it was all about,
It's like a competition.
like,
In a sense, yeah.
so
It's
it's
always
just
a
different.
competition. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
So tiring.
No, that's good though. Like that you see it like that. But it's like I said again, what's promoted today? It's all the external stuff. You know, it's, you know, being in a video, being popular, being famous, having money. You know, I think that's a big thing, is like having wealth. Like somehow, you see all these wealthy people commit suicide. You see them just like get caught up in drugs and get caught up in alcohol.
They're in unhappy relationships.
Yeah, their divorce rate is high. I'm just like, why would you? But people don't see that part of it. Yeah. They only see what.
Yeah, because the lists both seem like you're looking out for others,
Yeah,
you know?
they're both about others.
Yeah. And when you're not living like that, what the world's kind of promoting is self.
Yeah.
Self.
Yep.
You know?
Like, there's nothing like wrong. But when it's all about you, that's when it's
all about you.
That's all about you, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
like
you're
we said,
never
like
satisfied.
yeah, it's like we said, conduct is standards for behaviors. It's not standards behaviors with just for you. It's standard for your behavior with when you're with everybody else, you know. And so I don't know, like I don't know.
We are not
I had a thought and it went away. I lost it. There it went. I'm sorry.
But I think though, like she said, if you're like kind of striving for those kind of qualities, you're gonna have good people around you, you know, because you're gonna get that kind of a return on that, because you're investing in other people. You're not just investing in yourself, you know, because when you're investing in other things that are gonna bring back a return, you know. And so when you're doing something like that, you're investing in other people. You're not just worried about who you are or what you're doing, but you're worried about other people, and you're investing in other people, and that's going to come back to you. But versus just you can invest in yourself.
But then when you die, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. There's not going to be a return on that. It's just you. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you kind of burn a bunch of bridges when it's all about yourself. I mean, you know, when I was kind of more about myself and not thinking about others, when I was drinking all the time and stuff, you know, you kind of burn bridges with people and the way that they view you and the way that they see you, you know. And even with people that I know now that kind of live that lifestyle, it's kind of like, that's not someone I kind of want around myself or my kids, or, you know, for my kids to see. And so I think that's important to think. I mean, you're so much about the way that you look, but you don't really care about how people see your character. Yeah. And I think that's a big issue too, you know, because I mean, you can look good all you want, but then what are people really saying? You know, that's a really crappy person. Or, you know, I think we've talked about that before with like the popular kids and all those things in your conduct of how you treat others and stuff.
So rate yourself. Just kidding.
Yeah, rate yourself. Would you fall into that category of a good man or a good woman? You know, are you faithful? You know, are you kind? Are you persevering? Are you patient? You know, those are things, you know I have to work on. Yeah. You know, they're all interconnected. You know,
to the list like,
girl, I can check one box. You know, and but that's a good thing though. Like, it's nice to know that, you know, I'm not the only one struggling, you know, to be a good person, you know, to be somebody who has good conduct. And if you're a kid, or even if you're an adult and you're not, you're like, you listen to the list and you're all, and that's not me. That doesn't mean all hope is lost. You know, you can work your way to that. And like you said, it takes work, you know, because in order to have patience, that means you need to endure things that require patience. You know, if you want to be kind, that means you got to be, sometimes there's going to be times where you don't want to be kind. You have to be.
Want to throw the chancla?
Exactly, you know.
And I think just understanding that you're going to choose like that gentleman or that woman, you're going to make that choice. Depending on just a lot of factors. But just keep in mind, you're going to choose. So
your standards are your own.
Your standards are either the ones that you hold, you know. Don't expect to get somebody with these kind of standards when your standards are over here. Because if this person has these standards, they're not going to take a second look at you. You know what I mean?
They're going to keep walking by. Like.
Yeah. You know, hopefully, you know, so if you want, then you gotta
be up there with them.
But you have to choose wisely, because you have to be able to look beyond what you feel or what you see. So
because you'll end up around people who have the same standards as you. And if you know, just thinking, you know, about your own standards. Yeah. So you know.
I think we're good though. I think we're gonna hopefully continue with some more relevant information. Just kidding.
More ideas of conduct.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys
next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Join us for our next podcast. You can contact us through Instagram at podcast412 or email us at 412fight@gmail.com. See you next time.